Good morning, guys, and welcome back to another video here from Skopje, North Macedonia. I am hungry. I am just really hungry, and this is a city that's got a lot of food to fill my belly. So without further ado, let's go ahead and try out some traditional food here in North Macedonia. I'm really hungry, and I know there are some great places around the city where we can get some delicious food. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get the day started with some traditional local Macedonian eats. Let's go for it. Alright, first stop of the day, we've come to a place known as BUREK. And of course, as the name suggests, they have BUREK, and it looks amazing. I got the meat BUREK, and she literally has it toasted right up there. She'll just cut it up into little pieces. And can I just say, this looks like a very flaky BUREK. I mean, what is BUREK not flaky, but the smell, oh, that just smells incredibly delicious. You can literally see the meat that's like stuffed in on the sides. It's quite substantial, the meat portion. I have to say, it looks incredible. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. I need to try some BUREK here from Macedonia. I've had BUREK, I think, in every Balkan country, so obviously we can't have an exception here in Macedonia. Let's go ahead and try out. I'm just gonna get a little bit of like a corner piece here. It's nice, it's crispy. It looks absolutely delicious. So let's go ahead and try this out. I have to say, that is probably one of the lightest BUREKs I've ever had. It's not as oily or as salty as the other way. It's like BUREK, but health version. Like, you know, you have Coke, Diet Coke, you have BUREK, and you have Diet BUREK. Like, it's healthier. It's like a healthier version. I feel like there is a bit of like an eggier flavor to it, which I love, but it's not overly oily. It's not overly salty. The meat, nice, simple. It's not like flavored with all this salt and oil and everything. It's not there. It's not like the oily, unhealthy food that you would expect. It's healthy, it's light, very airy. I mean, if you look at the top, it's crispy, don't get me wrong, it's very crispy, very flaky, but it's not oily. Which I think if you're on like trying to get like a healthier version of BUREK, this might actually be the best thing that you could get. It's still flaky and it's just airy and light. That's the thing, is really light. I feel like after you eat BUREK, sometimes you get really full and you get really heavy. And I think after you eat this, it's light, it's refreshing. It's a good breakfast to have, especially if you're gonna have a big food day ahead. So definitely highly recommend the BUREK here. The price of this, which is like an entire quarter of the entire BUREK pie, is quite affordable. It's only 70 Macedonian dinar, which is like $1. So extremely affordable. I think what this really sets this BUREK apart, like I said, is the lightness, the almost fluffiness of the BUREK. Not saying that it's not crispy, but it's just very different to the other BUREKs I've had. But highly recommend this when you're here in Skopje, Macedonia. That is the best way to start off a day here in the Balkans, in Macedonia. BUREK is just one of those classic dishes that I love, and the fact that that one is so light, so airy, so fluffy almost. It almost feels like I'm biting into a fluffy yet crispy cloud at the same time. Very delicious. Love the flavor there as well, the sort of roasted, toasted flavor. All right, I think I'm good for now, but let's go see what else we can eat here around the city of Skopje. And then, what is this one? Oh, give me that one, the meatball. This? Yeah. Yes. Macedonian speciality. Give me one of those, please. Alright, for lunch today we've come to a place. It's called Stadia, literally, because the stadium is right next to me. But this place serves some traditional Macedonian food, and of course they serve it in a cafeteria style. Now, if you wanted, you could have gotten like rice with chicken and stuffed peppers and all that, but I feel like I've had a lot of that in the Balkans, so I wanted to try something new. So first off, I've gotten a soup. It looks like there's like a meatball. It literally looks like a plate pizza inside the soup. And then we've got something here which is a baked bean dish. The name of this dish is TAVCE GRAVCE. And it's basically baked beans with paprika, with spice, and I actually added more chili on top. And of course, this one has a sausage on top. This is a traditional Macedonian dish. You're not going to get this anywhere else in the Balkans. You're not going to get this anywhere else in the world. This is a traditional Macedonian TAVCE GRAVCE, and I'm really excited. It's cooked in this sort of like clay pot thing, and you can see it's just like heavy. It's really, really heavy. Baked beans with a sausage on top. First off, let's go with the soup. I just want to try out the soup first, just the liquid of it. It's a very thick red soup, and it's quite oily as well. I don't know, but let's go ahead and try it out. Wow. Very, very paprika-y and spicy. That is delicious. I love the flavor of it. Wow, it's like a tomato paprika soup. The paprika is very, very strong flavored. That is delicious. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just get a piece of the meat. Gotta try out the meatball with the soup. It's been soaking in there for a long time. Let's go ahead and try it all out. Oh wow, that meat is delicious. It's so nice and bouncy. Homemade meatball, definitely 100% homemade. You can tell it's got like weird lumps on it because it's not manufactured, it's not made in a factory. These are homemade, handmade meatballs. Very, very nice, and actually the meat is quite peppery. I love how peppery the actual meat is. Flavor is incredible, in my opinion. That is one of the best spicy paprika meatball soups I think I've ever had, honestly. Probably the best soup I've had in Eastern Europe. Not gonna lie, that is delicious. It is a little bit oily, but I love that oily, sort of fatty flavor right on top. This is not a health channel, this is a food channel, and that is what I'm here for. All right, let's try the traditional dish, the TAVCE GRAVCE. I'm just gonna go in right for the beans. You can tell it's baked. Oh wow, I mean, look at the beans. They're literally stuffed all the way, all these beans inside. Okay, let's go ahead and try out my first traditional Macedonian TAVCE GRAVCE. Very, very interesting. I know I read online that they put paprika and peppers inside. It's not a very spicy thing. It's actually very not so rich in spice, but more rich in the sort of cooked, baked flavor to it, which is why I really like this dish actually. The beans inside are really, really nice and soft and covered almost in like this liquid, yet the top layer of the beans, which you can see, have sort of hardened down because they've been sort of baked down. So it's a nice contrast between the beans on the top layer, which are nice, gelatinous together, hard to bite through, but the bottom, the beans are soft and very, very tender. That is really good. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut off a piece of the sausage because I want to try out the sausage, and I get it with the beans together. This should be a really good combination. Let's go ahead and try it out. Wow. Sausage is nice and snappy, like literally snapped back. Not a bit into it. It's like very, very snappy, rubbery sausage, but the inside meat itself nice and peppery as well. The beans provide this soft, like really, really tender contrast to the snappy sausage that sort of like bites in with juices when you bite it. That is delicious. I love the flavor of the TAVCE GRAVCE. Like I said, it's not spicy. I just like the flavor of the sort of slow cooked, softened, tenderized beans. That flavor to me is incredible, and you're not going to find that anywhere else in the world. Now, total price for these two things, 369 Macedonian dinar. The quality of what they're putting here is incredible, and this is homemade Macedonian food, as homemade as it gets. You will not find better homemade Macedonian food than this. The meatball soup is incredible, and the TAVCE GRAVCE, a dish that I've wanted to try ever since I got into Macedonia. Finally, for the first time, I got a chance to try it, and it is delicious. Wow, what an incredible meal that was. TAVCE GRAVCE. That is a traditional Macedonian dish that I finally got a chance to try it. Delicious. Really love the flavor of it. And of course you need that chili powder just right on top to really add it. The sausage, oh, the sausage is delicious as well. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and head into the old town and see if we can get some dessert, something to cool off. It is a very, very hot day here in Skopje, so let's go ahead, get something sweet. Okay, next up we've come to a place known as BUREK. It is in the old town here in Skopje, and they've got desserts. And obviously when I'm in the Balkans, I need TRILECE and I need lemonade, especially on a really hot day like today. That's exactly what I need. Got some lemonade here, let's go ahead and try it out first. Oh, very cooling, very refreshing. That is exactly the lemonade I need. Okay, let's go to the TRILECE. First off, when he brought it out, I thought it was a joke because it is such a small portion. It's tiny. I've had TRILECEs that are double this size, so I don't know why this TRILECE is so small, but it does look really good. It's a very small, short layer as well. It's not a very thick layer, so not sure what it's going to be like, not sure if I'm going to be cheated out of my money, but let's go ahead and try out. Here in Macedonia, my first TRILECE in Macedonia. Let's go for it. Oh, this looks good. I love that there is that hint of that caramel right on the top. Perfectly sweet, very, very nice flavor. But like I said, most TRILECEs are very, very soft and mushy, absorbed up with that milk. Nothing special about it. It's not the best TRILECE I've had, but it's not the worst TRILECE I've had. It's a pretty mediocre TRILECE in my opinion. I like the ones that I've had in Kosovo, for example, where it was like a really thick piece and completely submerged in milk. Like, that is how you do TRILECE. Here, it's a very, very thin piece, so it's like you bite through it, it's like, oh, that's it, that's the cake. So it's not as substantial as the other TRILECEs I've had. But here, of course, in Skopje, a piece of TRILECE and, of course, some lemonade. That is the best way to spend a very, very hot afternoon, like a really, really hot afternoon here in the city. And then I'm gonna finish this up, and then I don't know when we're gonna eat again, so I will see you guys when we go for dinner, because that should be interesting, and I want to see what dinner here in Skopje is gonna look like. Well, the sun has set here in Skopje, Macedonia. And of course, it is time for us to get some food. I'm currently walking through the old town, and there is apparently a couple pretty good stores here in the old town to try. So I think I'm gonna get dinner here in the old town, and I know the perfect place for dessert actually. So let's go ahead and get something in our bellies because I am hungry. So let's go ahead and get started eating. Alright, well for dinner tonight we've come to a place, it's known as cevapi Tourist. Now, I came here in the morning and this place was by far, without a doubt, the most packed place out of the entire old town. So I'm hoping that it's good. I've gotten some kebabs, which are the traditional food here. I miss kebabs, I need some kebabs, and of course, hopefully we have some chili that I'm just gonna spice up perfect. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna first spice it up with some chili. This place is literally right at the entrance of the old town, and from what I understand, it is very, very popular. Like when I walked here earlier in the morning, it was packed with people. But first, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to try the kebab itself. I'm just gonna cut in, get a little bite. Just curious what it tastes like here. Let's try it out. First off, chili, good addition, because that spice is amazing. It's incredible with the spice. Now, the kebab itself, very, very umami and very, very salty, and it's like very, very salty. And trust me, I love salt, but that is very, very salty. Well, I love the flavor. The flavor is honestly incredible. Now, it does come with a bit of bread, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of bread. Unfortunately, the bread isn't warm, but it is that sort of same fluffy bread that I had yesterday, that sort of very like starchy and almost gooey bread inside. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a kebab right inside. I'm gonna put some onions as well, and of course some of the little like cabbage salad thing, just to, you know, eat my veggies, wrap it up, and then of course get some of that spice, really hit it with the spice. All right, let's go ahead and try it. That is incredible. The kebab itself, very, very nice, very, very well cooked, very good. I love the freshness and the acidity of the onion mixed in with the freshness of the vegetables. That's amazing, and of course, some spice. The bread, like I said, very nice, very, very starchy, very, very bouncy. Only thing is, I wish it was warm. I wish it was like cooked, baked, and had like butter on top. That's how I had it yesterday. And if they had just heated up the bread, it would have been so much better. But regardless, absolutely delicious. Very, very good kebabs. Very, very nice and bouncy, and well worth the effort. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I also ordered some French fries as well. They're just freshly fried. So let's just go ahead and try out the French. Oh my god. That is hot. That is literally as hot as it gets. Let's go and try it out. Good French fries. Really, really nice and bouncy on the inside. But for me, it's that combination, the wrap. The bread, vegetables, onion, kebab, and then chili right on top. That is the perfect combination, and that is how you eat kebabs here in Macedonia. That was a pretty nice meal. Total price of that meal was 340 dinars. Just keep in mind that that is in the old town. It is called the Kebab Chilinka tourist. So I guess it makes sense that it's a little bit pricier, but I know the perfect place for dessert, literally the perfect place. So let's go ahead and go get some dessert here in the center of Skopje. All right, final stop of the day. Here we are at Macedonia Square. You can see right behind me the massive square that is in the heart of Skopje. And at night, a bunch of these little mini donut stores pop up. I think they're called mini KROFI? I don't know what the pronunciation is. But what they do is they douse it in powdered sugar and chocolate syrup, and they're like literally have like a little factory making. You can see like it'll pump out the dough, and then it'll fry, and then it'll drop off into the collection pit, which is where we get our donuts from. But these donuts, a small portion here costs like just 60 dinar, which is extremely affordable. And you can see it's just drenched in chocolate syrup. So without further ado, let's go ahead and try it out. Oh my. They are so incredibly light and airy. The chocolate syrup that covers them, not too sweet. It actually has like a bit of like saltiness, which I love. Powdered sugar is delicious. As just like almost, because it's so hot, it almost glazes over the donuts, but they're one-biters. They're absolute little one-biters that you can just take in. The piping hot because they just came out of the oil, but really, really delicious. Like I said, very, very airy, very, very light and fluffy on the inside, but just incredibly, incredibly crispy on the outside. But that is going to be it for our food tour here in Skopje, here in Macedonia. I have to say, some of the food today has been incredible. The beans that we had, the baked traditional Macedonian beans, that was incredible. Honestly, some of the best that I've ever had. Along with the BUREK for breakfast that we had. The TRILECE was good. I mean, the food here in Skopje is some of the best I have had in all of the Balkans. I mean, yesterday, if you saw my previous food video here from Skopje, the TAVCE GRAVCE is great, the kebabs are great, the fries are, I mean, everything here is just really, really high quality, really, really delicious. But what an amazing food day it's been. Anyways, that's gonna be it for our food tour here in Skopje. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more food and travel videos. I'm excited to see what else this country has to offer in terms of food and travel. So make sure to stay tuned, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye guys.